Well, hey, to all you cool cats and kittens, this is obviously your host, Mr. Hi. And don't worry, I am not trying to interrupt your show. This is just a teaser, a trailer, to talk about my show, The Anytime Show. Have you seen it yet? I hope so. If not, what are you waiting for? Go on and find my show, The Anytime Show with Mr. Hi. See you all soon. And subscribed. Hey, are you listening to me? You better have subscribed to my channel, youtube.com/Hollywood Insider TV. Yep. Today's episode is titled, Why 2017 Cinema Was the Best in the Decade. This article has been written by Merrick Sinclair. The most recent decade was a standout one, with each year from 2010 to 2016 outdoing the other before. 2010 produced Inception and The Social Network. 2014 slung one instant classic after another. Out of 2016 came Moonlight and La La Land. While the decade's last go, 2019 was an all-round standout year that finishes as a solid runner-up to the best of them all, 2017. The year 2017 was the peak of cinema in the 2000s and even ranks among 2007, 1999, 1994 and 1939 as one of the greatest years in film history. Here is my reasoning behind the claim that 2017 is indeed the best year in recent memory and may even be argued in time as maybe the best ever.
Guess I'll see you in the movies.
Uneven 2 years. While technically the box office increased by about 2 to 2.2% every year, many noted stark opposites in 2015 and 2016. There are normally about 3 to 5 box office smashes and 10 to 15 Oscar-worthy films in any given year. But in 2015, the number of films breaking records was an alarming amount, a good kind of alarming, while 2016 was full of award-winning gems. Yet 2015 was bare competition time. Again, 2016 made more in overall numbers, so you'd think that would have evened the scales. Yet everyone remembers how a whopping 5 movies peaked within the top 10 of highest grossing films ever in 2015. Minions, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Furious 7, Jurassic World, and the domestic crushing Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens all took turns crowning the box office.
Chewie, we're home.
That's impressive and shouldn't be surprising how it was this feat that made the mid-decade year so memorable. 2016 managed to bring a mountain full of critically acclaimed releases that fought for awards, even when the two front runners were obvious to all of us. There are too many to name, but from refreshing sci-fi, buddy comedies, gut-wrenching dramas, and much more, 2016 showed there was more the creative minds within the industry had to give. A great preamble to the epic 2017 that dominated on both the artistic and business sides of film. 2017 came in and stabilized the industry in many ways, plateauing for another 2 years in 2018 and 2019, going on an insane 3-year run of excellence rarely seen in the industry.
Hey, could you hold this for a second? Thanks.
Quantity, quality, or both. I love to rank everything in life and thus compiled my own list of the greatest films of the decade. 2017 dominated the list with 28 entries, but more impressively, 2019 made the top 100. Of course, art is subjective. But even if 2017 didn't produce your favorite film or even a top 10 entry, There is a bar that exists in which you can't deny if a film is well made or not. Dramas and touching comedies were sharp and full of emotion thanks to The Big Sick, The Disaster Artist, The Shape of Water, Lady Bird, The Mirror's Stories, New and Selected, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Comic book films made history with the competent female lead in Wonder Woman, a welcome return for our friendly neighborhood web slinger in Spider-Man Homecoming, while Thor proved he's actually cool in Thor Ragnarok, and one of the greatest comic book films ever made in Logan received Oscar noms as we said farewell to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Heavy, historical-centric films and biopics were better than ever too, as Molly's Game, Dunkirk, Detroit, Wind River, and Darkest Hour delivered Oscar-caliber performances, even if some of them didn't receive any notice.
The tide's turning now.
Finally, the action, thriller, horror, and sci-fi genres were as complex, slick, and well-rounded as ever thanks to Baby Driver. War for the Planet of the Apes, It, Blade Runner, 2049, Good Time, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, It Comes at Night, and You Were Never Really Here. All of these are stellar releases that can't be argued as inherently bad films in any way, shape, or form, and only help 2017's causes. In fact, 2017 also saw 2 of the greatest gay love stories being shown in cinema ever. Again, not the 2 greatest, because that's up to debate, but rather 2 of the greatest. One of them is God's Own Country, and the other one is Call Me By Your Name with Armie Hammer and Timothée Chalamet. Then the crowning film of 2017, and maybe the most iconic film to come out of this year, especially in light of recent events, Get Out. A film that sits at number 2 on my decade list behind only Inception. It is a masterpiece, putting most other years' best offerings to shame, and alone gives 2017 standing strength. The rest of those other releases above, and I could name a lot more, make it pretty much impossible to argue against the heavyweight class that is 2017.
You're so scared. You think it was your fault?
Steady box office. Though none cracked the top 10, the worldwide box office crushed in 2017 with a massive $43 billion take. Despite only 4 movies crossing the $1 billion threshold, Star Wars 8: The Last Jedi, haters aside, finished number 1 that year, with Beauty and the Beast, The Fate of the Furious, and Despicable Me 3 following suit. More impressively is the slightly smaller films that managed to crack the 700 to 900 million marks, which is why the box office as a whole did so well. Jumanji, Spider-Man, Wolf Warrior 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok, Wonder Woman, Coco, Pirates of the Caribbean 5, and It were strong successes that boosted the $4 billion corner pieces. Some may argue 2016, 2019, or even 2014, another personal favorite of mine, as stronger or equal to 2017. But even with 2016's strong Oscar class, 2019's historic year finales, and the award first, or the pure power of 2014. 2017 is not just impressively creative and remarkable, it was important to re-establish the industry as more than sequels and blockbusters. And while the box office won't ever quite be the same with the effects of COVID, the 3-year stretch of films that ended a great decade will never be forgotten, with 2017 as the king of the mountain. It was one heck of a decade, with many years vying for the crown. But when all is said and done, 2017 will be left standing strongest years from now.
I'm gonna stay right here with you. Song's over, baby.